Imagine you're watching football for the very first time. The match ends. The score? 0-0. No goals, no points. 90 full minutes of running, kicking, sweating, and nothing went in. You're confused, you're maybe a little annoyed, and you're thinking, what was even the point of that? Here's the thing. That 0-0 scoreline? It tells you more about football than almost any other result. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why it happens, why the best teams in the world sometimes want it to happen, and why millions of fans around the world actually respect it. Let's get into it. First, understand this one thing. In football, scoring is hard, not takes a little practice hard. Genuinely, brutally, statistically rare hard. Think about basketball. Points fly up every 30 seconds. Even in American football, touchdowns happen multiple times a game, but in football, the global kind, the one played in the World Cup, a single goal can be the difference between winning a trophy and going home. The average number of goals per match in top-level football is somewhere between 2 and 3 total. For both teams combined, that means on average each team scores just over 1 goal per game, sometimes less. So when neither team scores? It's not a malfunction, it's actually closer to the statistical norm than people think. Now here's where it gets interesting. Football pitches are massive. We're talking a surface bigger than an American football field, and there are only 11 players per side trying to protect a goal that is honestly not that big, 7 feet tall, 8 yards wide. But defending that goal? That's an entire art form. Teams don't just stick a goalkeeper in front of the net and hope for the best. They build defensive structures, organized walls of players that shift together, block passing lanes, and make it almost mathematically impossible to find a gap. Think of it like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces keep moving. Every time you find an opening, it closes. Every time you try to pass through, there's a body in the way. When two well-organized teams face each other, scoring becomes genuinely difficult. Not because the players aren't good enough, but because the other team is just as good at stopping them. And this is where tactics come in. And yes, sometimes a team chooses not to attack. Stick with me here because this sounds crazy, but it makes total sense. Imagine you're playing in a two-leg tournament, meaning you play the same opponent twice, and the combined score decides who advances. You won the first game 1-0 at home. Now you're playing the second game away, in a hostile stadium, with thousands of fans screaming against you, holding a 0-0 draw? That means you win the tie, you advance, you go through. So that boring, goalless draw? For that team, it's basically a victory in disguise. This is called game management. It's a massive part of elite football that most newcomers completely miss. The best teams in the world aren't always trying to win every match by 5 goals. Sometimes survival is the strategy. Here's something that surprises almost everyone new to football. Some of the greatest goalkeepers in history have been celebrated specifically for keeping 0-0 scores intact. A goalkeeper who makes 10 world-class saves in a goalless draw is considered a hero, not a backup option, a hero. Gianluigi Buffon, Iker Casillas, Manuel Neuer. These are names worshipped across the world, not because they scored goals, but because they stopped them. That 0 on the scoreboard. Sometimes it represents extraordinary skill, not a lack of it. Now, is every 0-0 game a tactical masterpiece? Absolutely not. Sometimes both teams are just having a bad day. Shots hit the post, players miss open goals, the goalkeeper gets lucky 3 times in a row. Football is unpredictable like that, and no amount of skill guarantees a goal. That's actually one of the things that makes football so addictive to billions of people. You can dominate a game completely, more shots, more possession, more everything, and still not score. The underdog can park everyone behind the ball, absorb pressure for 90 minutes, and escape with a draw. No sport on earth does this quite the same way. There's also another dimension most beginners never consider: mental warfare. When a team defends a 0-0 deep into a game, the pressure shifts entirely. The attacking team starts to panic. Players take worse shots. Coaches make desperate decisions. The crowd gets anxious. That scoreline changes people's minds in real time, and sometimes the team sitting on 0-0 isn't just defending, they're waiting. One counterattack, one moment of individual brilliance, and suddenly that 0-0 becomes a 0-1. And now the other team needs 2 goals in 15 minutes. Football has turned on moments like that more times than anyone can count. So here's the full picture. 0-0 isn't a mistake. It isn't boring by accident. It's the product of elite defending, tactical intelligence, goalkeeper excellence, and sometimes just the sheer randomness of a sport where the margins are razor thin. The next time you see a match end without a single goal, don't change the channel. Ask yourself, which team was trying to hold that scoreline? Which goalkeeper was the reason no one scored? Was this a tactical draw or a genuine battle that neither side could break? Because once you start seeing football like that, the 0-0 is never boring again. If this changed how you see the game even a little, subscribe. There's a lot more football left to understand.